When we're writing equations of lines that pass through certain points, the two things we need are a slope and a point. So they gave us a point, and then we need to figure out what slope we're using. So they're telling us they want it to be parallel to this 5x minus 4y equals 8 line. I don't just immediately look at that and see slope written somewhere. I can learn patterns for what happens to the x and the y to create the slope. But the tendency that I tend to use, or the strategy I tend to use, is to just solve that for y so that I can put it in slope-intercept form and recognize where the slope is. So I'll move the 5x to the other side, divide by -4, and then I see here, because this is in slope-intercept form, the slope of that line is 5/4. They want us to use the parallel line. They want us to find the parallel line that goes through the point 3, -2. If it's going to be parallel to this, if they're going to be parallel, they have to have the same slope, which means that we want to use 5/4 for our slope as well. So I'm going to start with point slope form, which is y minus the y value they gave me equals slope times x minus the x value they gave me. And then because they didn't tell me what form they wanted me to leave my answer in, that can be where I stop. I can also practice putting things in other formats. So this is point slope form. I'll label it as such. If you want to do a different form, maybe put this in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form means I'm going to solve this equation for y. So I have y plus 2 equals, I'll distribute the 5/4. 5/4 x minus 15/4. Then I'll subtract 2 to the other side. So my slope-intercept form is 5/4 x minus, okay, 15/4, negative 15/4 minus 8 more fourths will be 23/4. So slope-intercept form is this one. And then we have one more form that we sometimes go to, which is called standard form. And standard form is where you need to get your variables all on one side, your constant on the other, and all of your coefficients should be whole numbers, should be integers. They can be negative. They just have to be non-fractions. All right, so I'm going to move the x to the other side. So I'll have negative 5/4 x plus y equals negative 23/4. And then my other goal is that I want to have all of my coefficients to be integers, which means I need to get rid of that 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 4 to cancel out the denominators. The left-hand side times 4 is going to leave me with negative 5x plus 4y, and the right-hand side is going to give me a negative 23. So that's the form that we started with over here when we were looking for our original slope. This slope would have the same one as this one, because notice that all the signs, well, you can't tell on the right-hand side, but because the x and the y are both opposite signs from this one, the negative would still be there in the slope when I solve for y. You can also multiply all of this by a -1 to make it look really similar to this. But either way, the whole goal is to get only integer coefficients and your variables all on one side. And that one is standard form.